If you would please state your name for me.
April Hunt.
All right, and could you spell that for the court reporter, please?
It's April, last name Hunt, Hunt,
All right, and Ms. Hunt, how are you employed?
with Gordon County Department of Family and Children's Services.
How long have you been with, is it commonly referred to as DFACS?
Yes,
Okay. How long have you been with the Gordon County DFACS?
31 years.
31 years?
Yes.
All right, well, for those who might not know, what is DFACS?
I work in Child Protective Services where we investigate child abuse, and we also have a foster care unit that works with children that are in foster care, and we have a family preservation unit that works with families with children in the home.
Now, is DFACS a state entity?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have to have specific training to be a DFACS worker?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, what type of training have you had to become a DFACS worker?
When I started, it's been a long time ago, my training was 12 weeks of training. I'd go to training a week, and I'd be back in the office for a week. And at that time, we were trained in all areas.
And do you have to have any certain level of education to become a DFACS worker?
Yes, you have to have a 4-year degree.
And do you have a four-year degree?
Yes, I have a BS in psychology and sociology.
All right. So you stated that when you were trained initially that you were trained in all areas of DFACS. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
Okay. Where did you start out when you started working there 31 years ago?
I started in the foster care unit.
Okay. Have you held any other positions in DFACS other than that?
Yes, I worked with the, when Adult Protective Services used to be included in with our office, I worked with them for a period of time. And I did intakes where I took all the DFACS reports that would come in. They used to be in office, now they're not. And when that stopped and went to more state-run thing, I started in investigations.
Okay. So I guess from the investigation standpoint, when does DFACS become involved with a family?
Once we receive a report.
Okay. And how does the report come in?
Now, we have it goes through our ICC unit, which they get all the reports, and then they will send them out to the county that it's supposed to go to.
Is it fair to say it's like a central intake?
A central
unit?
intake
Okay.
unit, yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it goes then to the counties that, I guess, what determines what county it goes to?
The county that, where the parents reside.
Okay. Now, once a case comes into your office in Gordon County, how does it get assigned?
Our supervisor will look at it, and we do ours on a rotation. We have 3 investigators at this time, so it rotates between 3 of us right now.
You all have 3 investigators right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are there any certain steps that you're supposed to take in a DFACS investigation? Like, is there a set criteria you have to do A, B, and C, D, and then you're done, or does it change?
It depends. It varies from case to case.
Okay. Now, do you work your cases alone?
Not all the time, no.
Okay. What circumstance would lead you to work it with someone else?
We have a county protocol. Any severe physical abuse or severe domestic violence or sexual abuse cases, we work jointly with law enforcement. Especially if there's going to be a criminal aspect to a case, we work those jointly with law enforcement.
Okay. Now, I'm going to direct your attention to January 12th of 2022. Did you have a reason to be involved with the Timms family on or around that date?
Yes.
Okay. I guess, what was the nature of you coming into contact with them?
There was a concern, we'd got a report in, there was a concern with Jameson having a scratch mark on his face and then a torn frenulum, which could be from force feeding.
Okay. So what, I guess, was that report assigned to you?
Yes.
All right. What, if anything, did you do in response to receiving that report?
I went to the home to speak with the parents and to see the child.
And do you recall what location that was?
Yes, it was at their home.
And do you have that address?
Yeah.
And is that location here in Gordon County?
Yes.
Okay. So who, was anyone there when you arrived?
Mr. Timms was home when I arrived.
And do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
If you could identify him by something that he is wearing.
He's got a blue checkered shirt on.
All right. Let the record reflect the witness has identified Mr. Brady Timms. Now, did you speak with Mr. Timms when you got there?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone else arrive?
Yes, the mother and her mother-in-law, Renee Timms, arrived.
And do you see the mother? I guess, what is the name of the mother?
Carrie Timms.
Okay. And do you see her here in the courtroom?
Yes.
All right. Could you identify her by something that she is wearing?
Yeah. My eyesight's not that good. Maybe a peach-colored sweater.
All right. Let the record reflect that the witness has identified Ms. Carrie Timms. So, and you said that there was one other person there. Who was that?
Mr. Timms' mother was with Carrie when she arrived.
Oh, do you know her name?
Renee Timms.
Okay. Now, did you speak to the defendants?
Yes.
Did they answer your questions?
Yes.
What, if anything, did they say about the injury to the tongue?
They did not know how that could have happened. They both denied, force feeding him or, putting a pacifier hard in his mouth or anything. They did talk about him, putting his pacifier in and popping it back and forth himself with his hand, but nothing that would have been of a forceful nature.
Okay. Did you make any physical observations about Jameson?
Yes.
Okay. What were those?
Yeah. It's part of what we do. If a child is under 1 year old, we have to see them undressed, and Miss Timms changed his diaper and undressed him so that I could see him.
All right. And you said that, did you notice anything noteworthy about his appearance?
No, the only thing I saw was the place on his face.
All right. Was there any explanation given to you as to where that could have come from?
They didn't really know. They talked about they put him on his back, but he liked to roll to the right side. And he had a sleeper that he would rub his face with.
Okay. Did you document any of those things?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing defense counsel what's been marked as states 2, 3, and 4. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Certainly can.
All right, I'm showing you what's been marked as states exhibits 2, 3, and 4. And if you could please just take a look at those and let me know if you recognize them.
Yes.
All right, and what are those?
Those are pictures of the mark on his face and then the sleeper that he slept in.
All right, and so which one was the sleeper? If you could identify which exhibit that was.
It's exhibit 4.
Okay, all right. And are these a fair and accurate depiction of Jameson as well as the sleeper from that evening?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, the state would attend today's exhibits 2, 3, and 4 in evidence.
Any objection to states 2, 3, and 4?
No objection.
And Your Honor, if I could just confirm, Ms. Hunt, did you take those photographs yourself?
Yes.
Okay, and that was my only question. And we have no objection to their admission. Correct, Commissioner Elvish?
There'll be, so states 2, 3, and 4, the photographs will be admitted, and you can go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right.
Do what now? Thank you.
And so we're looking at State's Exhibit 2 here. Let me get that glare off of it. All right. And so, I guess, who was holding the baby at this point in time?
Miss Thames.
All right, and which, if we're looking at the photograph, which side was the abrasion on?
The right side.
His right?
His right side,
Okay.
yes,
All right, just confirming.
yes.
All right, and so here in State's Exhibit 3, what are we looking at there? What are we looking at in
Oh,
State's 3? I'm
the,
sorry.
I'm sorry, the, another picture and angle of the abrasion to the face.
Okay. And then finally, State's 4, what is that?
His sleeper.
All right. And so can you describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, like, what that sleeper felt like?
It was pretty soft.
Okay. Now, and we can turn up the lights now. Thank you. Now, did they discuss at all any further with you Jameson's nighttime behavior?
Yes, they did say that he was colicky and cried at night, and they had an Alexa system that they would use to calm him down, and they demonstrated the Alexa system for me that they used. It was voice activated.
All right. And did you see that in action? Did you see it stop, like him from crying, or was it just they showed you what was
No,
going
they
on?
just showed me what it
Okay.
was. He was not in any distress at the time when I was there, so.
All
it's
right.
fine.
Now, did you find out who the caretakers were for Jameson at this time frame?
Yes.
Okay, who were they?
His mother, Carrie Thames, and his father, Brady Thames.
Did they work at the time?
Yes,
Okay. Did they work outside of the home?
Mr. Thames did.
And what about Miss Timms?
She was able to have a job where she could work from home.
Did they indicate whether Jameson was in daycare at all?
He was not.
Now, I guess you were aware of a prior interaction in November at Erlinger? Are you aware of that?
I'm aware, yes.
Okay. Did you follow up regarding some testing that was to be completed from that?
Yes, I had, yes, I followed up with them about that.
Okay. Had that been completed at that time?
No, there was, from talking with Ms. Thames, she had kind of some COVID fears of going into the hospital.
Okay, so that follow-up had not been completed due to fears of COVID at that time?
Correct.
Okay. Now, did you make any observations of either of the defendants when you were there that you felt like was noteworthy?
Yes, they were both very attentive to Jameson. I observed them give him a bottle, and he took his bottle well, and the grandmother was also there and attentive to Jameson.
So what did you do after that? After this home visit with them?
Well, I left for that evening and staffed it with my supervisor.
Okay. Is that standard protocol for DFCS?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happened next, I guess, in regards to your involvement with the family?
The next day, we had a conversation with Dr. Sarah Pickett about the case. And then we were contacted by our regional director that had been contacted that I needed to get in touch with the family and have them take the child to CHOA as soon as possible for some, a follow-up skeletal and a head CT and a new abuse workup.
Okay. And so you were the one to tell them to go to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta?
Yes, I called them, yes,
And did they do that?
yes.
Now, did the department ever obtain custody of Jameson?
Yes.
Okay. I guess, when did that occur?
That occurred on January 14th of 2022.
How does that work? How does DFCS take custody of a child?
We have to call the court to ask for permission.
Okay. And was that done?
Yes,
So you can't just go in and take someone's child and walk away and say, I'm taking this child.
no.
Okay. So what happens, I guess, after following the removal of a child from the home? After a judge has signed off on it, what's the next step?
We look for placement for the child.
Okay. And where do you look for placement for a child?
We can look for family, or if there's not any family available, then we have foster homes.
Okay. And do you recall where Jameson was placed when he left Children's Healthcare of Atlanta?
Yes, he was placed in a local foster home.
Okay. And why was he placed there?
Just due to the nature of the injuries. And that gave us time to explore family that could take him.
Okay. Do you recall when Jameson was discharged from CHOA?
On 114.
I'm sorry?
I think he was discharged on 114.
Okay. Now, was there ever a time that you met with the defendants to discuss this case after the hospital visit?
I went by the home to let them know when court was scheduled for.
Okay. Was there another time later that you met with them to discuss?
Yes, my supervisor at the time and I had met with the family on, make sure I have the correct date. On 121 after one of the preliminary protective hearing cases,
Okay.
court.
And did you talk to them about any other way that anything could have happened?
Yes, we talked with them, did anything happen accidental? Did he, fall off of a bed? Did he fall off of a couch? Did somebody trip and fall with the child? Was there a bathing incident where he slipped out of your hands, or anything of an accidental nature could have happened?
And I guess at the point that you're having this conversation, had Jameson's visit at CHOA been completed?
Yes,
Okay. Were there findings that were found there that were concerning?
yes.
Okay. And what were those? Not to get medical, but what were the concerns that you were investigating?
That he had rib fractures, and there was also a thoracic vertebrae, 10th thoracic vertebrae, compression fracture.
Okay. And so you were, at that time of the conversation you're having with the defendants, you are exploring any accidents or any other ways that something could have happened?
Correct.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
And so, did they have any knowledge of any kind of accident or anything like that?
No.
Now, after that, did your investigation continue?
Yes, for a short period.
Okay. What else did you do as part of your investigation in this case?
The hospital was sending off for further blood testing. One being OI, which is the, I don't want to butcher it, osteogenesis imperfecta, which is more commonly known as brittle bone. And they said that would take several weeks to come back. So during my investigation part, I did not have those results back. But the child did have a follow-up skeletal that I saw that came back on 2/3 of 22, and it was normal, and the rib fractures had healed at that time.
Okay, and what about the vertebrae?
It was still visible.
Okay. And so you said, I guess, does DFACS, you said your investigation closed, or does it end at some point?
Our investigation does. We have 30 to 45 days to complete an investigation. And this case went into the foster care.
Okay. So there is still a case open with DFACS?
Open, and they would be getting all the information from the doctors and that type of thing with continued care for the child and what he needed.
Okay, so it's not that DFACS is turning away from anything that comes out after this, it's that you all have to close your case within 30 to 45 days?
Correct.
And then pass it on?
Correct.
Okay. Now, did you have any additional involvement in the case after your portion moved on? I guess, where does it go after it's with you?
It, to foster care unit, and it went there on 114. It immediately transfers over.
Okay, so both foster care and investigations had
Have
a case open?
Yeah, we can have a case open at the same time for a short period of time.
Okay. So after it moved into foster care, did you have any additional involvement in the case?
No.
Now, during your investigation, were you open to alternative explanations for something that plausibly caused these injuries?
Yes.
Ms. Hunt, do you know the defendants outside of your work at DFACS?
No.
Did you target them for some kind of bias or motive that you have against them?
No.
Do you like to remove children from their parents?
No.
Since this occurred in January of 2022, have you, as an investigator at DFACS, received any additional reports of Jamison having any other unexplained injuries?
No.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Wall. Mr. Hood?
Good afternoon, Ms. Hunt. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. The department's initial involvement in this case began in November of 2021. Is that correct?
Not this case. There was a
Well-
prior case.
Okay. The department was involved with this family in November of 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And there was a worker from your department that was present at Erlanger Hospital regarding Jamison Timms in November of 2021, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And do you know who from the department was there?
I think it was Kristen Burchett, one of the case manager.
Okay.
And
Y'all have a program called Shines. Are you
Yes.
familiar with that?
Yes.
All right. You can use that to access the sort of field notes, for lack of a better term, of other workers and investigators, correct?
Correct.
That way, if there's turnover in the department, or if one witness or field worker can't be available one day, somebody else can access their records and see what's going on in the case, right?
Correct.
Okay. Have you had the opportunity to look at that in relation to what happened at Erlanger in November of 2021?
I have some knowledge of it. I have not read it entirely, but I do have some knowledge of it.
Okay. So Ms. Burchett was present at Erlanger in November. At some point in time, she was accompanied by a law enforcement officer from the City of Calhoun Police Department. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Detective Printup,
Correct.
who's now retired, but at that time was still working. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And who was the referral source in November of 2021? Was it Erlanger Hospital?
I honestly don't know, and we're not allowed unless directed by a judge to give out.
Well, if you don't know, that's fine.
So, right.
Y'all received a referral. Ms. Burchett went up there and evaluated the situation. Is that correct?
Correct.
Met with the parents, looked at the child, and talked to the treating physicians. True?
Correct.
And the determination was made both by the department and by law enforcement that this child is perfectly safe to return home to Brady and Carrie Timms. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. After that meeting in November of 2021, you or someone from the department visited their home, the Timms home. Is that correct?
Correct. My supervisor and I did
Okay. And when was that?
follow-up visit. I don't have the exact date, but it was the 1st of December.
Okay. And when you say a follow-up visit, what do you typically do at a follow-up visit?
We do a follow-up visit to do a home visit to check the home environment out and see if there's any concerns with safety of the child in the home.
Okay. And that was completed in December of 2021, and there were no safety concerns found at the Timms home. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Your next encounter with the Timms was in January of 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. That would be the day that Carrie Timms brought Jameson to Dr. Harpin Pickett's office, and there was a discussion there about an injury or perceived injury under Jameson's tongue. Is that right?
Correct.
Subsequent to that, you all received a referral from someone, and that led you personally to the home of the Timms. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And while you were there, you indicated that Brady Timms was there, Carrie Timms was there, and Renee Timms was there.
Correct.
And you needed to see the child unclothed. Carrie took the clothing off the child, changed the child's diaper. Anything of concern when that happened?
No.
Anything of concern in anything that you saw in the home?
No.
You indicated, I think, that the child was fed with a bottle.
Correct.
With this awful injury under the child's tongue, did the child have any trouble drinking a bottle that day?
No.
Do you recall, Ms. Hunt, while you were there, having a personal conversation with my client, Brady Timms, about this case?
I spoke with him briefly prior to Ms. Timms and Ms. Timms getting there.
Okay. Do you recall at any point during that conversation telling him this or anything to this effect? This is not a child abuse case. I don't know why they stay on you guys.
I did not say that.
Did you say anything remotely like that?
No.
Was that ever a topic of conversation?
No.
You indicated that Renee Timms was at the Timms home with Brady and Carrie. Is that right?
Yes, she was in the vehicle with Ms. Timms when she pulled up.
Okay. Did you interact with Renee Timms at all?
Yeah, yes,
Did she seem appropriate to you?
yes.
Was she concerned about the well-being of her grandchild?
Not at the hands of Mr. or Ms. Timms. She had no concerns with her son or daughter-in-law.
But she seemed appropriate as a grandmother.
Yes.
Concerned about the well-being of her child.
Yes.
Was there anything that you knew at that time about Ms. Timms that rendered her someone not suitable for placement of the child?
No.
Okay. But the child was released from CHOA to foster care,
Correct.
though the department was well aware that there was a perfectly suitable, willing, and able grandmother to take this child.
We still have to check, even though she was appropriate at that time, we have to do our due diligence and check families and their homes out. especially when a child has, these type of injuries.
Okay. And to be fair, you have no earthly idea how these injuries occurred. Is that correct?
Personally, I don't.
Was there ever anything in the interaction that you demonstrated, interaction between Jameson and his parents that struck you as inappropriate in terms of his parents' behavior?
No.
Can I have 1 second, Judge?
Certainly.
Do you recall, ma'am, having a discussion with either one of the Tim's parents about, and I'm talking on the day that the sore under the tongue was seen?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the January 2022 event. Do you recall having a discussion about, with either of the Tim's parents to the effect of, you guys just need to take parenting classes and get them off your back?
I did not say anything about getting people off your back. I talked with them about a program we have through our Family Resource Center that is parents as teachers, and I did speak with them about that, and they said they would be willing to do that.
Okay. They didn't have any objection to that?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hood. Ms. Bernard, do you have questions of this witness?
I do have a few, Your Honor, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Hunt.
Good afternoon.
So you have been working for the Department of Family and Children's Service for 31 years, right?
Yes.
So it's fair to say you have a lot of experience with these kinds of cases.
Yes.
Okay. So approximately how many of these home visits do you think you've done over the course of your career?
Too numerous to count.
So the process of hearing some kind of allegation and then going to the family home and meeting with the caregivers and the child in the home, would you say you have probably done this thousands of times over the course of your career?
Possibly.
Okay. And I suppose, have there been instances where you have conducted one of these home visits and you have found unsafe conditions?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you have gone to places where there's evidence of neglect or harm to children?
Yes.
Okay. Have you gone to places where you have been concerned about the other adults who are present and who had access to the child?
Yes.
Did any of those concerns apply here in your home visit with the Timms family?
No.
So did you have any concerns at all about anything in the home environment or the individuals who were present and caring for Jamison Timms?
No.
And the sleeper, so did Carrie and Brady Timms answer your questions in a forthcoming way?
Yes.
Did it appear that they were hiding anything from you or trying to keep you out of some part of the home?
No.
Did they volunteer information to you about the bottle and the onesie sleeper and other items that were associated with Jameson?
Yes.
And when they showed you the sleeper, did it look like it had some discoloration on it from maybe being rubbed against a crusty abrasion?
Yeah, there was some discoloration on it, yes.
Okay. So, okay. And did you notice, did the air seem dry in the home at all? Did they?
I don't recall.
So you don't recall if,
No.
there was a humidifier running or anything that might have aggravated a rash with wood heating or anything like that?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And then I believe you said in response to Mr. Hood that Jameson had no trouble drinking a bottle that day, right?
Correct.
And do you recall what kind of bottle they were using to feed Jameson? Whether it was, I guess, the traditional nipple or kind of the larger one?
I don't remember.
Okay. But do you remember if if it looked like they were comfortable feeding Jameson?
Yes.
Did it look like Jameson was fearful or alarmed around any of his parents or his grandmother?
No.
So even if he looked a little possibly distressed in the photographs we saw, your testimony is that he was not a distressed child that day and seemed happy and content with his caregivers?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have any conversations with Dr. Harbin Pickett regarding Jameson Timms?
Yes.
When did you have those conversations?
I spoke with her on 1/13/2022.
So that would have been the day after she had seen Jameson at her office?
Correct.
And did you initiate this conversation or did she?
I called her.
Okay, so you called her. And she told you about the laceration on the bottom of the mouth
Yes.
and the abrasion on the child's cheek.
Correct.
Was there anything else she told you?
I think she had spoke with Dr. Garcia with T.C. Thompson, and they were looking at recommending the child to have another skeletal survey and head CT and lab work.
Did she talk to you about any of the results from the initial lab work from the November visit at Erlanger?
No.
And so were you the one that made the decision to instruct the Tims to head down to CHOA for the additional testing and lab work?
After our regional director had been contacted, we were told, my supervisor and I were told, to get with the family and have them to take him ASAP for that.
Okay, so that was an instruction that you and your supervisor received. And who did y'all receive that instruction from?
That would have been from our regional director through our director to us.
Okay, and who was your regional director in January of 2022?
Danny Knuckles.
And I believe as Mr. Hood asked you about, this was, you weren't ordering them to go to CHOA. You were, I guess, telling them that you were strongly advising them to go to CHOA?
Right, because that had been requested, yes.
Okay. And did they have any hesitation in complying with this request?
No, they went.
Okay. Do
And
you
I think
recall?
Mr. Tim's parents went with them as well.
Okay. And do you recall anything about the weather that day, by any chance?
No,
Okay. Did you recall them having any concerns about traveling down to Atlanta in the weather?
I don't remember.
Okay. And did you give them this instruction in person or over the phone?
Over the phone.
Okay. And did you tell them anything about packing a bag for Jameson or bringing his car seat or, I mean, of course he would have to bring his car seat, but his stroller or his overnight bag or anything else?
No,
Okay. Did you give them any kind of expectations at all about would they be staying overnight or how long they might anticipate to stay at CHOA?
no,
Okay. So if I have this right, you said we are asking y'all to take Jameson down to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for a head CT scan and a skeletal survey, right?
that's what they were asking. And that they would have to do that, they had to go through the ER to do that.
Okay. And so when you say they were asking, is that DFCS supervisors?
That was what was being requested from the doctors.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to get a sense of, when you were speaking to the Tims, were you conveying that DFACS wants you to do this, or the doctors want you to do this, or both?
Both,
Okay, so both DFACS and the doctors want you to take the baby to CHOA.
yes.
Okay. Now, did you go down to CHOA?
No,
Did anybody from the department go down to CHOA?
no,
Okay. Was anyone from the department asked to go down to CHOA on January 13th?
no.
Do you know how Detective Jody Faulkner from Calhoun Police Department ended up being the one to go down to CHOA?
That goes back to us working cases together jointly. He went.
Okay. But do you remember, do you remember why he went and not someone who was a social worker or a DFACS liaison or representative?
With CHOA, we do have a DFACS liaison that is there. And so she was there.
And when you say we, is that Gordon County?
Well, probably for the state. I mean, if they're
Okay.
dealing with CHOA, there's a state DFACS liaison that works there at CHOA.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, was there anyone who had had any personal contact with Jameson and Brady and Carrie from Gordon County who was sent down to CHOA to make sure that they had the information that was available to you after your home visit?
No,
Okay.
I didn't go.
So did you make any summary of the findings of your home visit and interactions with the Tims that could then be transmitted down to CHOA or taken with Detective Faulkner?
No, we may have verbally told them, the social worker, over the phone, but we didn't send anything in writing.
Okay. So do you remember you having a conversation with any social workers?
My supervisor at the time did.
Okay. And your supervisor, was that Ms. Stanfield?
Yes,
So Lori Stanfield. And so she would have been the one to have the conversation with the DFACS liaison at CHOA?
yes,
And you would have conveyed to Ms. Stanfield the findings that you had made of the home environment with Brady and Carrie, and how Jameson was in no distress and taking a bottle just fine, and all of that?
yes.
Okay, so you conveyed that to Ms. Stanfield. Do you know if she conveyed that information to the DFACS liaison prior to any treatment or intake of Jameson Tims?
I don't know.
Okay, so that you conveyed it to her and you don't know.
Well, we staffed the case and she knew about it, so, but what she conveyed to somebody else, I don't know.
Right, of course. Okay. So did you have any conversations directly with any of the folks involved in caring for Jameson Tims at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta?
No, not directly.
Okay. Well, when you say not directly, we
Wait,
know that's
I'll-
going to pique our interest.
Yes, I was on the phone when they were made aware of the child needing to be removed based on the injuries.
Okay, so you were on the phone with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta when the decision to remove Jameson from the custody of Brady and Carrie was made?
Yes, we let them know that we had gotten custody of the child, and the DFACS liaison went in the room with the parents to let them know. And we were on the phone in case there were any questions or anything came up.
Okay. And you believe this was on January 14th that this occurred?
Yes,
Okay. Would it have been in the early morning hours of January 14th, or maybe late at night on January 13th?
it would have been on 1/14, probably after lunch, would be my guess.
Okay, and why would you say that that would be your guess?
Because we had scheduled, the reason I say it would have been after lunch, the detective and he had scheduled with the parents to meet with them at his office at 5:30.
And that was back here in Gordon County?
Yes, and that was on 114. And the child had been removed prior to that, so it was right before lunch or right after lunch.
Okay. Well, so I suppose there would be two different points that we're talking about here. One is where the department makes the decision to take custody of Jamison, and the next part would be when Brady and Carrie were informed of that decision that y'all had made. And those happened at two separate times, right?
Yeah, we would have asked for custody first and then notified the parents.
Okay. And so, do you remember, as exact as you can make it, what was the point where y'all asked for custody of Jamison?
After we had received information that the child had multiple healing fractures to his ribs, and that there was a fracture, a compression fracture to the 10th thoracic vertebrae.
Now, were you ever given the opportunity to view any of these scans where there were allegedly these multiple healing fractures and a compression fracture?
No,
So you never viewed any of the x-rays yourself?
no.
Okay. Did it surprise you to hear that about Jamison when you had just seen him the day before and he seemed perfectly happy?
To be honest, yes, I was surprised.
Okay. Now, as a longtime employee of DFCS, are you familiar with the new protocol that was released by Department of Human Services on February 14th of this year?
I think we're maybe talking about the same thing, but yes, I think I know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
And is that the protocol that says for all cases of where serious child abuse is alleged that parents should be given the opportunity for a second medical opinion?
Right, and it would be at the parents' expense if they chose to do that, yes.
Okay. And does that protocol also provide that all treating child abuse pediatricians should review the entire medical history of the child and sign off on a medical attestation form if they are coming up with a diagnosis of non-accidental injury?
Now, I'm not aware of that part of
Okay.
it. I'm aware of what, of our role and what parents can and can't do.
Okay. But this was not in place at the time when Brady and Carrie Timms were seeking to get second medical opinions, was it?
No, it was not.
Was it hard for them to get second medical opinions?
I honestly do not know.
Were you involved in any of that later process after Jamison was transitioned from foster care to his paternal aunt to his grandparents?
I was involved when he went from the foster home to his aunt's home. But after that, I was not.
Okay. Were you involved in Jamison's case after he was transferred to his aunt's home? And I believe that was late January of 2022.
I did the initial home visit to check their home out. I believe I did that on 121, but after that, I did not go back to their home for anything.
Okay. All right. And is there anything else that you observed about Jamison Timms or his interaction with my client or her husband that you haven't already told the jury about today?
No,
So this is, you've covered it all.
yes,
Thank you so much, Ms. Hunt. We appreciate your time.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bernard. Ms. Fox, anything else? Or Ms. Wall, anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. Just to clarify, Ms. Hunt, on the discoloration of the sleeper, do you know what the discoloration came from?
No,
Okay, you don't know what caused anything that might be discolored on that?
no.
Okay. Now, you mentioned these staffings. What is a staffing?
That's where we talk with our supervisor and go over what we have found or did not find in a home.
Okay. And now you were talking about staffings, or are there additional staffings where other parties are involved?
Yes.
Okay. Did any of those occur in this case?
They did, but like I say, some of the medical stuff at the hospital, I was not involved in that staffing.
Okay, but there were staffings to your knowledge that took place?
Yes,
Okay. And would that have included your supervisor
yes,
if you were not involved?
correct.
Okay. And now, you said you didn't see the x-rays. Would you have known what you were looking for on the x-rays?
No.
Okay, all right, no further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Wall. Anything else? Mr. Hood of this witness.
Very good. The mark that you noticed on the face is one mark, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And make sure that I understand your testimony correctly. Y'all, when I say y'all, I mean you, the department, were told that they had seen what appeared to be healing fractures, that blood had been taken, and that the blood was going to be sent off and tested for some purpose. Is that correct?
That there was going to be further testing, yes.
And that the results of that testing would probably not be back for weeks or months. Is that correct?
Some of the testing.
Okay. And so, from the time that you were told that, how many hours went by before these two were escorted out of that hospital by a security guard?
I honestly do not know.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Ms. Bernard, anything else?
I don't believe we have any further questions. Thank you.